Hi, good day. It's Rebecca, day 45. I'll tell you, today is a good one. We're at the park. It's really cool for August. It makes me nervous about whether or not we're going to have a really bad winter, but I hope not. But hanging on to Henry with the leash, thought I'd take the moment to talk about how important food is to you. Food has always been very important to me because I've actually been very obsessed with it, because my whole life it's been how my self-esteem is, you know, if I'm having a good day, a food day, then my self-esteem is good. If I'm losing weight, my self-esteem is even better. And you know, we've talked about before that taste really never mattered until I started doing this program and realizing that taste is good. And it's, you know, there's two things for for food is, you know, to fuel your body and to appreciate the taste. So if you're not doing those two things, well then, you know, why are you bothering eating? Well, I'll tell you why I was bothering eating is because my emotions, when I had my hurt feelings, which, you know, I found out, you know, later on, a few weeks ago, that nobody ever died from hurt feelings, but people have died of obesity. So, you know, I'm trying to learn how to cooperate and make food more enjoyable, but not so important that I'm thinking about it all the time, because that's what I used to do. I used to obsess about food. I would eat breakfast and think about, ooh, what do I get for lunch? Or, you know, what do I get for a snack? Or, ooh, am I going to Quick Trip today so I can have a donut? You know, just all these things, my mind constantly revolved around food. I shouldn't have ate that. I wish I ate that. I shouldn't be eating this. Oh gosh, I wish I was a smaller size. Everything always revolved around, you know, what I ate, what I didn't eat, and where my scale was, and where I was at on that scale. So, you know, today is how important is food, and what I've read today and what I'm learning is that, you know, sometimes food is important. It's when you're going on when you're planning a special night out or a birthday party or a celebration of some sort, that, you know, food's important then, because you want to share good food with good friends and family and everything. But you shouldn't ever say, oh, I shouldn't eat this, but it's like, make arrangements to know that, hey, this is what I'm going to do today, and you don't have to overeat. You can taste it for fuel and for appreciation of what you're doing and enjoying the company that you're with. You know, it's not like when you go for a car ride, you know, going to the grocery store and going to the post office is really not that big of a deal. But sometimes you get in your car and you take a nice trip and you really enjoy the surroundings and the scenery, and maybe you stop, take a picture. You know, that's the way food should be for us, is that sometimes it's important and sometimes it's not that important. And so it doesn't have to be boring, but you don't have to be obsessed with it. I don't have to be obsessed with it. And I'm learning that, and I used to be that way, and now I'm learning a whole new side of appreciating food and not being fearful of it. Because honestly, I've been fearful of food because you know, growing up, oh, you know, even though I was not fat as a child, but when you have a skinny ass sister that, you know, if she stuck out her tongue and stood sideways, she looked like a zipper. You know, that wasn't me. And it would be, and she was taller than I am. I'm not on the super short side, but I am on, you know, I'm 5'3", so there you go. But, you know, it just, those things, I took those things to heart, you know, when, you know, people would be going, oh, your sister's so skinny, and oh my gosh, and then I would think, well, gosh, that must mean I'm fat. If they're saying that my sister's so skinny, then I must be fat. That wasn't the case at all. It's just how I perceived it. And as children, you know, we perceive things so awkward sometimes. And, you know, sometimes as parents, we don't have the tools to know what we're doing to our kids. So I don't want to place any blame on my parents or anything like that. It's just how I perceived it. And then that's how people treated me, like fat. And so now I'm not going to be treated like I'm fat. I'm going to be treated like I am a human person. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm really human now. You know, that I'm not going to act like a fat person. I'm not going to make a big deal about the food that I eat when I'm with people. You know, I don't want to say, oh, I can't have that, I can't have that. It's like I just smile graciously and say, oh, this is wonderful, thank you. And then I can choose to eat it or not and be subtle about it. I don't have to make a big deal about what I'm doing. And I remember a friend of mine told me years ago, she said, you know, you're the only one that talks about your weight. When I look at you, I don't see fat. I see a neat person. And you know, it's taken me a long time to figure out that, you know, maybe I am a neat person. Not really neat, because sometimes I'm a real slob, but you know what I mean. And so, you know, concentrating on what you are good at and being happy with where you're at. And you know, since I've been doing this new way of eating, it's been really good, and I have not had a lot of hunger issues like, oh, I can't, I'm craving this and I'm craving that. I'm really not, and that's what makes it all the better to know that I'm on the right program for me. And it might not be the right program for you, and there's another program out there that will work better. But for me, this is what's working for me, and I'm really excited. And today I put on a pair of pants that I had bought, oh, probably a year ago, and they were size 18. And I couldn't even get them up my legs. You know, now they're too big. I put them on for the first time today, and my 18s are too big. So yay, that's a really big victory. And I'm moving around a lot, and I love that. I can't stand just sitting around and waiting for my next meal. Literally, that's what I was doing. So I just encourage you to figure out what's important to you. How important is food? And use your important days wisely, you know, and don't treat every day like it's a really great car ride. You know, it doesn't have to be. Remember that we do have regular day lives, and we need to incorporate that, because if we don't, we just fall all the time. We fall all over ourselves. So I used to be that way, and now I'm not, and I'm doing it anyway, in spite of some things that, you know, you've been with me now 45 days, and the challenges that I've had, and I'm doing it anyway, and this is what's so exciting. So the average of when I first started this on June 9th, it's been like, I got an itch. It's been 20 pounds that I've lost, a total of 55 pounds. But since June 9th, I've been losing 10 pounds a month. And you know what? That's a really good pace. That means that I'm learning a new way of eating, and it's not a flash in the pan, and as soon as I go eat something that might not be good for me, it doesn't mean I'm going to gain it all back. And so I feel very confident in that, but you never want to get too confident, because when you have the addictions that I feel like I've had with food, you don't want to take anything for granted. So here's day 45. I really appreciate your feedback, your comments, and your progress. I love it when people are writing me and telling me what they're learning and doing, and a big shout out to Diane. I'm so proud of you. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow on day 46, and we're going to say goodbye from Warsaw, Missouri at the park. So have a great Sunday. Bye.